This is the Milwaukee Tool M18 Fuel QUIK-LOK attachment system, and in this video I'm going to talk about why you probably should consider getting it. But first, Milwaukee Tool did send this to us at no cost in exchange for this video, but I promise the thoughts and opinions are of my own. If you have any questions, please leave those down in the comments. We try our best to answer every single one. Even if we don't know the answers, I will reach out to Milwaukee and have your questions answered for you. So the primary reason why you might want to consider getting one of these units is because one single power head can be used to power up to like 13 or 14 different attachments that Milwaukee Tool has in the lineup. We have a select few here. These are the ones that I requested for this video, but they have pole saw attachment, brush cutter attachment. They have an extension for the pole saw. There's a rubber paddle attachment and a few others. What we have here today are the bristle brush attachment, the string trimmer, the cultivator attachment, the edging attachment, and my favorite one, and the one I was most looking forward to, the reciprocating attachment. So in addition to this kind of being an all-in-one type of system, which I think is the primary selling point, I have my top 3 other reasons why you might want to consider getting one of these systems. One is the cost, right? Each one of these, you're basically buying into a subsidized cost. Each attachment is going to be less money than if you were to buy that attachment with its own motor and everything like that. So you have that savings there. Then there's going to be maintenance. I mean, battery powered equipment is virtually maintenance free, with the exception of maybe some of the heads you may have to grease up and stuff like that. But imagine having to maintain 13 individual gas powered pieces of equipment. Not only, you know, keeping them gassed up, but replacing spark plugs, air filters, things like that. You will never need to do that with this kind of a system. And the last thing is what I would like to consider a space savings, especially for those of you working in tight spaces like a tight trailer or an enclosed trailer. You can buy racks that will securely store these attachments in a nice, tight, small footprint. So everything starts right here with the power head. We have it paired up with the XC 8.0 battery. You have 2 speeds here with the button right here between basically high and low speed. On low speed, you're getting like 4,900 RPM. On high speed, it's 6,200. The variable speed trigger is really nice. You can really feather and dial in how fast you want the gear heads to spin. So that's a really neat feature there. It gives you total control. And then for some of the heavier attachments, you can put on a harness using the clip right here. But all your attachments clip right into here. There's a little proprietary slot on each attachment that basically snaps and locks, and then you can screw this down to tighten it up. But that's the whole system right here. Enough talking. Let's get into demoing each one of these attachments right now. With some of the heavier attachments, like this cultivator attachment, I do like using this harness here to kind of keep everything nice and balanced. It's still a little front heavy here, but it kind of helps you keep control so that you're lessening the load on your arms. But let's get right into it here. Kind of tilling up this area. And I really like how quiet it is. You can see I'm talking right over this, and the motor's not too far from the microphone here. And you can hear me pretty good. And this is a nice hard ground too. None of this soil has moved in a really long time, so 4 blades doing a pretty good job of breaking up this soil here, getting it ready so that we can plant some grass. Not too bad. Another thing I like about the cultivator here is the tool-free maintenance. Say for instance, if roots or something get caught in the blade, you just pull the cotter pin and these slide right off so you can clear out any of that debris. And you just slide the cotter pin right back in. Really quick, really easy, tool free. You can do it on both sides. Very simple to use. Next up we have the string trimmer attachment. Easy load head, holds line diameters of 0.08 to 0.095 inches. Let's give this one a try. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, man, that cleaned things up pretty nicely. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. So the reciprocating attachment is probably my favorite tool. I really like the low profile design of things. Really meant to cut low cut turf and gives you that nice clean scissor cut action. This tool is really expensive, don't get me wrong, but if you are looking to get under tight spaces, like in our demo with the fence here underneath that fence line, or even up against like vinyl fence, this is going to be a great tool for you as well. It's not just limited to low cut turf. I have found many uses for this, including edging, but it's important to note a few key maintenance items. One, not only do you got to keep the head greased, but also you have to make sure these cutting blades are clean. There are solvents and cleaning sprays that you should spray on these teeth here to make sure they are constantly lubricated and clean and free of any dirt and debris and stuff like that. If you go too long in between uses without cleaning it, this will seize up on you. I have another brand of this same style head and have come across that, and it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. So make sure you're constantly keeping these heads cleaned and lubricated. And also when you're not using it, make sure you use the protective cover right here. That keeps the blade from being damaged when it's being stored away. All right, next up here we have the brush attachment. This is going to be great for cleaning up driveways, anywhere where you have like debris or dirt or mud caked on surfaces. Really simple to use. You can even use this for snow blowing activities. I mean, just kind of like in a sense like a power shovel or something like that. If you have a light dusting of snow on sidewalks, walkways, driveways, things like that, will help clean that up as well. One thing I'll say about this unit is it is heavy. It's one of the more heavier attachments. You can see the balance point's kind of like right there in my hand. So a lot of the weight is up front. But I'm still not using the harness for this. I'm really just letting that sit on the ground, let the weight kind of do the work for you. And you can kind of go back and forth and let it do its thing. If you were using this for more than like 10-15 minutes and you just needed to take a break, then maybe the harness might work out for you, but I don't really see a need to be using it. And then the last attachment we have is the edger attachment right here. This thing's actually great. You can see it up close here. We're gonna go ahead and edge the driveway back here. It does a pretty good job. This hasn't been edged in a while, so take a quick look. Let me know what you think. You know, we'll have to blow that out, but that's a pretty good edge right there. Nice and crisp. Does a pretty good job of getting through the dirt and everything. So we'll go ahead and blow that off. And I just so happen to have the M18 dual battery backpack blower right here. Another thing I want to mention about the edger attachment is that you can adjust the depth here just by sliding the wheel up and down to your preference, tightening back up. I like to go deep as we can go here. I like those deep trenches, those deep edges. I think it's a cleaner look, a crisper look, if you will. But doing so also will dull your blade a lot faster, so keep that in mind too. Also, you got a strike plate down here at the bottom to protect the gear casing right here. So very well built. You also have your grease port right here to add some grease, so make sure you're doing that occasionally as well. But really nice attachment right here. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for joining.